Jay Williams, let's live life, and we're back. Yes, we're back to our regular scheduled program. I've read the comments. Y'all ready for the stories? Let's get into the story. Today, I'm going to tell you about one of the first stabbings I seen in Greensville Correctional Center. Now, I saw a lot of stabbings along the way, slashings, cuttings, brutal things. I spent damn near a decade at this place, right? And this place is just, it's one of those prisons that's always turned up. We go on lock, we come off lock. We go on lock, we come off lock. The gangs are out of control. But back then, being from Richmond, being the city I'm from, Richmond being the capital, we ran things. Dudes can argue in the comments, we ran things in the early thousands. And on a lot of compounds to this day. I mean, the Bloods are deep. I cannot take anything from them. Dudes got to the point where I can't say that, I can't fully say we run things. I can't. There's too many of them. But back then, we did. Now, I've told y'all, the first time I seen somebody get poked was in the neck, and that was in Philly. That was my first one. The second one, I seen a dude with a box cutter and a dude with a poker and a dude with a bottle, like a spray bottle full of bleach going at it, and a guard got in the middle, and it got real messy real fast, right? But from that time, being in 1999, moving forward, saw a lot of different stabbings, did a lot of time. Spent most of my life incarcerated. I mean, what do you expect when you're on levels that got nothing but lifers and people with violent offenses? 70% of the population there is doing 50 years or better. We got a lot of guys from these supermaxes that have been on 23-1 for years, coming back down to the lowland and not knowing how to act. And they came with a different mindset. They came with that, I ain't playing no games about nothing. Ain't no fight. You swing on me if you want to, off with his head.
Off with his head, say the wrong thing.
Yeah, that type of thing. So with today, I'm going to tell you one of the first stabbings I seen take place up there. And believe me when I tell you, it was a terrible thing to witness. Type of shit nightmares are made of. Type of stuff you just can't shake. Type of stuff you have to take medication for years and years after, just to sleep at night. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. One of the first stabbings I seen, and it wouldn't be the last. I've missed y'all. Let's get into this story. With all that being said, you know how to seen it. You know I done lived it. So let's relive it. Now, if you would, stick around to the end of the video. Anytime I run into somebody that supports the channel or somebody that notices me out in public, they'll tell you, the first thing I'm going to say is, let me grab a picture with you. So at the end of this video, I'm going to throw up a bunch of pictures of people I've taken photos with over the last month or so. Big shout out to all of them. So let's get into it. I fall into Greensville in the mid-2000s. Right prior to me getting to Greensville, I'm talking like hours, a huge prostitution ring was broke up. I'm hearing dudes telling me on the buses we going there, man, you're going to be, if your money's right, as soon as you get there, you ought, it's like that. I pull up, state police are all out in the parking lot. There are female COs, counselors, nurses, all being led out in handcuffs. And I'm not talking about one or two. Looks like they're about to fill up a couple prison buses with females. I think it was like 50-some females. If you was there, you know. So that kind of sets the tone for what this place is going to be like. All right, well, it ain't going to be no going on because they just took all the up off here. So I go through my process. I get jumped shortly after I get there. And then I end up in 7 building, the Terror Dome, where I would spend the majority of my years. Well, there's a dude when I come into the pod named Mac. Mac is from Richmond. Big square head dude. He had one of the widest noses I've ever seen. I'm talking cheek to cheek type nose. Not, some dudes just got big noses. Now his nose spread like from cheek to cheek, damn near probably center with his eyeballs. Big ass nose. 5'10", 5'11", maybe 230. I'd see him on the weight pile. He wasn't no slouch, but he was grimy. But the only thing that kept dudes off of his ass is he was from Richmond. So he would rip somebody off, and when dudes would go to get at him, dudes would be like, nah, you can't do that. He had 2 brothers on the outside. Everybody knew his brothers are much older than him. Not to mention, when I meet Mac, I think I'm like 25 years old, and he was probably in his early 30s, maybe 31, 32 years old. Straight dope fiend larceny with him. If you gave Mac something, you knew that when you gave it to him, it was a very good chance you were never going to see that back. You weren't going to never see that money again. The only ones that felt safe really messing with Mac were dudes that knew him. Dudes that knew, telling, look, don't do that dumb shit. We're not with that. We'll come up here and bust your head like, care nothing about your brothers in them, man. Don't do no dumb shit. He had a reputation for ripping dudes off. He had a reputation for fighting behind it. Like, he'd have no problem with ripping you off and then telling you, well, step in the cell then. You know what I mean? He wasn't no small dude and beat you all the way up in the cell. Well, Greensville is one of the places that's constantly flipping because there's so many guys going to the hole, so much gang outbreaks. There's just so much going on at any given moment. I've seen times where they come in and shake down and they hadn't done a quarterly shakedown. They skip it. For y'all don't know, every 4 months, now I think it's every 3 months, they do a major shakedown in every compound of Virginia. They call it the quarterly shakedown. We missed one time and it was like 6 months we hadn't been without a shakedown and they hit us out the blue. I watched 25 people go to the hole that day. 25 people get shipped up off of there, all with weapons charges. So upon coming in, dudes that know you are going to tell you about people. Like, don't fuck with him. And I'm quick to ask somebody, oh, what's up with him? What's up with old boy? And Mac was in cell 3. What's up with dude in the doorway in 3? That's Mac, man. He's home team. Good people. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say he's good. I wouldn't give him nothing. Like, as far as like being a good dude, he's all right, but I wouldn't give him nothing. He got a problem with liking to borrow things, but he don't like to have to pay them back. And he'll fight behind it. So right then and there, it sets the tone in my head. All right, dude can't get nothing from me. And if I ever do give him anything, consider it a gift. Because if you don't pay me back, then I'm obligated to come after you. But if I give it to you, it is what it is. So back to the story. We lose a whole bunch of guys out the pod. I've been in this pod now maybe 7 months, 6 months. And this actually, now I think about it, this was not the first stabbing I seen up there. This was the third stabbing I seen up there in that 6-month period. We get a whole bunch of new dudes, bunch of different Richmond dudes. That prison's located in Emporia, Virginia. It's not near the beach. It's not out near the 757 or the 7 cities. Whenever you get out towards that area, you tend to get more dudes from that area in that prison. Greensville is kind of like just out in the middle of nowhere. Big mixture of different dudes, but a whole lot of Richmond dudes. A lot of dudes that fell in the 90s with bodies that are never going home. So once again, we get all these new dudes in. The pod's constantly flipping. Younger black dude named Tyrell comes in. And I'm just going to call him Tyrell. It's not his real name. It's very close. So if you know his name and you know the situation, don't put it in the comment section. Don't put the man on blast because he handled his business. We get a younger black dude in this group of all these dudes that come in named Tyrell. Tyrell's a head buster on the streets. He's got brothers also, younger and older, that a lot of these guys know from a well-known project in Richmond. When I was surprised at how many dudes knew this dude when he came in. A lot of dudes told my son, man, I used to run with his uncle, smash his aunt. Like, yeah, I remember when he was in diapers, man, the boy got double homicide. Damn, Tyrell. One thing about him, he got straight to the money. Wasn't no games, wasn't none of that. He went straight to the dudes that was getting money and asked them what the process was like. How's the VI room here? How are they on the shakedowns? Now, at the time, you could sit out on the patio area, and they had these little tables with these little umbrellas, and that was like the spot to go if you could get out there. Because in the summertime, the guard ain't coming out there, and the cameras at Greensville at the time did not work. So a lot of dudes would slide out there with their girl. You already know. Tilt that umbrella just a little bit, so if the guard walks out, they can't see immediately what's going on because it looks like the umbrella fell over. And dudes would really get it in on the patio. I'm talking about, I know dudes that have made babies off of Greensville's patio. But that was also the best place if you was to get the pack, to get the pack brought in, which is what ultimately got it shut down. But he gets the layout, gets to talking to everybody. This, that, hey, it's best to try to get on the patio or wait until the evening when it's full, go over there and they open up the other side of the visitation where they can't really see. And it's got the long tables in it. First weekend he goes to visitation, he strikes. He comes back and I see it. All these different dudes going to his door. Him going door to door. He's on the yard. He's hustling. He's selling dope. Now, Tyrell's brothers and them looked out for him. They hustled in the streets. They were still free. He's not coming home for a long time. They made sure that anything he needed in there, next to money, he had. So every single weekend, they'd send the girl up in there and she'd come up in there. Sometimes she might have that crack on her. Sometimes she might have dope. Sometimes there might be a big ass sack of pills. The visitation was so sweet at this point that you didn't have to swallow it. You didn't have to boof it. You didn't have to do none of that. A lot of times you could hold it in your hand and you go in the back, and we had these younger dudes from the streets that were guards. They still got a lot of young dudes from the streets that are guards that didn't want to see you ding-a-ling. They ain't trying to see you squat, cough, do all that. Like, I went to go and dress one time, and dude was like, hold up, man, what type of time you on? We ain't doing all that. Chill. This is also coming from somebody that used to get the pack in. I used to hold it in my hand. A lot of times I'd come in and I'd reach up in the locker and lay it down, and they'd be like, hold on, I got to search you before you dress out. And I'd be like, oh, bad. And I pull my hands out the locker. They'd search me. I'd strip down. I ain't got nothing on me. I'm going to grab my hat out the locker. And I had my orange beanie. I'd reach in there, put the dope inside the orange beanie. All right, man, I'm gone. And I'd peel out. Same process with him. No sooner that he comes back, he is the man. Richmond was also known for having the best dope in the state. I see him in his doorway. He's on the top tier, like cell 26, 27. I see him in his doorway. All these dudes are going to him. He's putting his name out there. He's hooking dudes up. He's getting his money. He's giving dudes. Back then, we do street to street, meaning your people on the street had to send my people the money, Western Union my people the money, Green Dot my people the money, or send it straight to my books, and I'll let it sit there. So he's giving dudes these little slips of, here, boom, get him a little bit of dope. Here, your 50 piece. What, you want, 100 piece? Here you go. Hey, money better hit that address. Now, Richmond stands behind Tyrell. So you're not going to play with him about the money because everybody else is going to jump on your ass if you do. I see Mac. Mac used to just stand in his doorway, right? I see Mac standing in the doorway, and he keeps seeing dudes going up the staircase. We got dudes coming in from other pods going up the staircase. If you watch your surroundings all day long, you're gonna notice when something is off, especially in a place like prison. So Mac, being nonchalant, goes out, sits down at the table, acts like he ain't looking, and shifts his head up. All these different dudes are going to Tyrell's cell. Don't take him long when the crowd clears out, and Mac fucked with the dope. Don't take him long, he makes his way up there. Now, I'm not sure on what set, I wasn't there, and I ain't got long-form microphones. But I can only speculate what happened, because I know what ended up happening and why it ended up happening. He went up there and had the boy break him off some dope. Now, I don't know if Mac's way of thinking is, he's from Richmond, I'm from Richmond. He's a youngin'. I'm much older than him, I'm much bigger than him, much stronger than him. He ain't gonna do shit to me. He goes and gets his dope from me. Now, first of all, this is home team. These are the dudes that are gonna ride with you if shit pops off. You don't fuck him over, man. Mac comes back down the staircase into the cell, boom, kicks the cellie out, shuts the door. Now, like I told you, he would usually play the cell, but anytime he got high, he liked to mingle. He kind of got more social. And you know, you're like social drinkers that kind of turn up a little bit. He was a social dope fiend. Like, he would do a little bit of dope and then want to come out and talk to people that he wouldn't usually talk to. So he does his dope, comes out, mingles with everybody. A little bit later that day, they call Rec. We all go out to Rec. He's walking the yard. He got a pep in his step. He's a whole new dude after he done hit that fold of dope, right? Anyways, in the midst of all this going on, he's got dudes in another building he's bucked on. I seen him on the yard one day, and I'm on the weight pit, and we got dudes on the other side of the fence. They're in a different building, and they're yelling for Mac. Hey, somebody go get Mac. Hey, who know Mac? Go get Mac. Black Mac, go get Mac. And eventually somebody comes and gets him, and he comes to the fence. And they're talking through the fence, across the weight pile, and through another fence. So it's about a 20-foot stretch. I'd say give or take 20 or 25 feet from one fence, whole pile of weights in between, and a bunch of guys working out. Another fence, you'd be locked in this weight pile when you went out there. You go in, they put a padlock on, and your ass is stuck in there. And you got guys on this side of the fence from that building, guys on this side of the fence from that building. Dudes are yelling for him, hey, go get Mac, man. And he finally comes to the fence. I lay back down and do my set, grab the bar, push out, finish up my thing, and I hear them talking. And I hear Max say, well, get it how the fuck you lived in. Come over here and get it. Come over here and get it. I told you I'm not paying. I told you that shit was some doo-doo. He's trying to tell them their dope was doo-doo. But everybody else is saying the shit was fire. That's some dope fiend larceny shit. Woosah. And as all this argument's going on, you got other dudes from Richmond coming up and standing behind Mac, and they're telling these dudes, y'all ain't about to do nothing, man. Y'all ain't about to come over here and do nothing to nobody from Richmond. Like, y'all got us messed all the way up, man. Like, if he say it wasn't no good, then you beat. If he say he ain't paying you, you beat. Y'all come on this side of the yard, we'll poke the shit out you. That's what it is. What are you gonna do in that situation? Run over there with a knife? Where you're outnumbered 100, 300 to what? You got a couple dudes from your little county nobody really knows about? It's what, 6 or 7 of y'all? Y'all will come over here and die. People died up that place. Don't come over here playing around buying $20, $30 worth of dope and lose your life. So in that little situation right there, it was something that kind of solidified what everybody told me. Mac was some shit. Mac was from the city. Mac's supposed to be home team. Mac could get down. Mac will rip your ass off. So a better part of a week goes by. My cellie at the time is also from Richmond. He is now doing an elbow, doing a life sentence. If you don't know what that means, it's crazy. That man ain't got football numbers. That man got a VIN number. I mean, I gave him so many damn. Anyways, my cellie tells me, man, she gonna end up popping off for Mac. I said, what's up with Mac? Man, he bucked on little Tyrell. What you mean he bucked? Tyrell's home team. Mac don't be caring about none of that, man. He goes back to Tyrell, gets some more dope. The money still ain't hit. Tells his people, my people sent that and sent this. Tell your people go get the MoneyGram. They go to Western Union. There ain't no money there. So that's really going to piss you off. You just sent your girl, your brother, your homeboy out of their way to go to the closest Western Union. And they walk in expecting to pick up a couple $100. Ain't no money there. You just got played. So when Tyrell gets back on the phone, they tell him, man, ain't no money there. Man, Mac said he sent the money. Hey, Mac, my people saying the money ain't, man, if I said the money got sent, man. My people saying the money ain't, if I said the money got sent, man, the money got sent. Like, he wasn't going to even stand there and fake the funk. He wasn't going to argue with you. He wasn't going to debate. He wasn't going to do what ifs. It was just, if I said we sent it, and if you ain't never get it, that's on your people, not on me. Dope fiend motherfucker, man. That's your people. These are the people you know that are going to ride for you when nobody else will ride for you. Now, just by the way Tyrell moved, I didn't expect him to be there long. He's young, crazy amount of time, double homicide, like, He's not going to be here long. He's going to run his time up. He's going to end up at Wallens Ridge or Red Onion somewhere on a Supermax status. He had already told people in the past, don't play with me about my money, man. Just because I ain't got my gun don't mean I ain't got a knife. Like, you better check into me and find out why I'm locked up before you think I'm sweet. Ain't nothing sweet about me, man. This ain't iced tea over here. Like, don't play with me. Mac is clearly playing with him. Tyrell's from Richmond. Mac is from Richmond. Dudes go to Mac. And Mac tells him, I sent it, man. The boy's saying the money ain't pop, man. I'm saying I sent it. Straight like that. Like his people got the money, they lying, something. He'll tell them that, but he ain't gonna tell Tyrell that. He's just trying to tell these dudes that so they'll still have his back. Man, I said I sent the money, man. Man, the boy kind of feels the type of way about you. But then tell him come down here. Tell him come do what he gonna do. Bring his little knife down here. I'll take that shit from him. Talk him real greasy out of his mouth, right? Shit starts to get ugly. You can feel the tension in the air when something's about to go down. I don't know what it is, just the air tastes different. Like your ears feel like they just popped, like there's a ringing in your ears when the shit's about to pop off. You go outside, the humidity changes, like the sound, everything is different. Tyrell has made many attempts to get this money off of Mac. Mac's now at the point that if you want it, come get it. I said I sent it. He's trying to make everybody think the boy's trying to play him. No, I sent the money, man. The little boy trying to play about some money, man. You don't need your money. I've seen how much money this boy sold and how much dope he sold since he's been in here. Stop playing. So we end up going on lock, right? Just a scheduled lock, routine lock, shakedown, search for weapons, contraband, A lot of dudes will know when the lockdown is coming. We'll hear it from the dock workers, the kitchen workers. Somebody that just come from the other side of the yard might be like, I was just over there and they had us on lock. So we know the lock is coming. So dudes will do what we do. We'll take our weapons and we'll take them to wherever it is we hide them at, get them out the cell, get them away from us so we don't get caught with them. Get them somewhere safe, and after the shakedown, we go back and get them. I had a shank one time that was the rustiest, nastiest, ugliest piece of metal you could ever imagine, but that bitch was sharp. But it was rusty because I used to bury it in the ground on the rec yard. And I remember watching the guards go out there during the shakedowns with the metal detectors. I'd be watching them out the window. And they'd have the dogs. And they'd have the metal detectors. And they'd be searching everywhere trying to find where we had our knives buried or where drugs might have been buried. You dumb bitch, ain't nobody burying no drugs on the yard. So no sooner than we come off this shakedown, everybody's doing the same thing. If you got a weapon, you're out on the yard getting your weapon back off the yard or out of the pod wherever you buried it at. I saw something that day I didn't expect to see. I used to keep my shit buried next to a fence post so I could count the fence post and know exactly which one it was buried next to. Not only that, when they run a metal detector in that area, it's going to beep because there's a fence post in the ground. Use your brain, people. But I go out there, I'm looking around because I don't want nobody to see me getting my shit. And I see Tyrell cutting across the yard. He's going down this area we call Cracker Beach. It's where all the white dudes hung out, like just the regular white dudes, skinhead white dudes, the Aryan Brotherhood and Hey Brother type white dudes. Like they all hung out down at what we call Cracker Beach. I see Tyrell walking with a couple people and he's headed down there and I watch. You can watch somebody's homeboys a lot of time and that'll give away what's really going on. His homeboys are watching. They're watching the tower, watching perimeter vehicle. When I see Tyrell squat down in the sand and dig something up, shake it off real quick and put it up underneath his shirt. Okay, he's got a knife. He ain't play pimping. You better have a knife. This is a spot if you need one anywhere. This is the place you're going to need it at. So my celly face ends up telling me, he said, yo, Youngin going to end up getting at this dude, man. I said, oh, you think so? I said, man, you better be careful because if you don't hit him right, like, Mac will come up out that shit and beat him to death. Now, I don't know, man. He's talking about he's going to get at him, but he's going to get at him on the yard. I said, so if you know that, Mac knows that. Because if you telling me that means other people are talking too. He said, nah, man, I was up there talking with Youngin, told me that shit. I'm telling you because you're my celly. You and your celly going to talk about everything. You going to know about the first girl he ever slept with all the way to the last because y'all ain't got nothing but talk time. That's why I'm so damn good at telling these stories because I ain't had nothing but talk time. So, okay, back at it. Tyrell's got a knife. He's going to get active on Mac. He can't have it for show. Because just the word of it getting back to Mac that Tyrell was seen digging up that knife could be enough to make Mac go get a knife and him go stab Tyrell first. Mac would usually only go outside. Damn, it just got bright. Gee, move this bitch. Because if word makes it back to Mac that Tyrell's got a knife, Mac's going to act on it. Or at least he's going to push up on him and be like, what's up, man? I heard you got a blade. Like, you trying to get active? Like, is that for me? Because I ain't heard about nobody else around this bitch owing you no money but me. So let me find out you got that for me and we'll go ahead and handle that right now. It's not what was said, but that's 100% the mindset when it comes to prison. A little bit of time goes by and it just seems like Tyrell's going to take that shit on the chin. From what I've heard about dude, I would not expect him to just take the loss. I'm not believing he's just going to take the loss. He took two people's lives. He's in here forever. Like, You can't just take the loss. That can't be how you start your bid off. You're going to have to act out. You're going to have to pop off. You're going to have to go to the higher levels. That way people know not to play with you. And after 5-10 years, when you make your way back down to a lower level, they be like, yeah, Eric dude out on the yard that time. Yeah, got sent up the red onion. Yeah, that's him. He's back. Months go by and we don't hear anything about this. Tyrell is still slinging dope at 90 miles an hour. Mac is still ripping dudes off. Mac will get commissary from you and not pay you back. Type of dude to say, let me get a bag of coffee, man. I'll give you the bag of coffee and a couple soups back on store day. And then when you go to get it back, like, man, I thought you gave that to me, man. You ain't tell me I had to pay you nothing back. One of those type of dudes. So months and months have gone by now. It is now blazing hot, middle of the summer. It's like August. Steaming hot outside. I'm talking just, this shit ain't right. Like they tell you before you go outside, there's no rec equipment today. Heat advisory in effect. Make sure you bring you a cup so you can grab some water out the cooler. Might want to take your wet rag with you too. They do that in the middle of summer when it was that hot. Fuck it, we need to get up out this building, man. It smells like nut sacks and armpits in this bitch. I'm going outside. At least out there, it just smells like dust and dirt, you know what I mean? But not like nut sacks and armpits. So I see Mac, right? Unless Mac was high, he would usually kick it by himself. You put his headphones on, we had these CL20s. If y'all know what that is, that means you've been locked up. If you know what the CL20 is, your ass has been locked up. So he's got his CD player, he's got the clear CL20s on his head, and he's walking around the track. Tyrell's walking with a group of about 5-6 dudes. He's a dope boy. So he keeps dudes around him because they want to slang dope for him and they want to get tooted and booted every chance they get. Mac is in front of them and they're just walking. And Mac's nonchalantly just walking. He ain't in no rush. Dudes that are running track are running around him. Other dudes are walking faster than him or walking past him. And he's just nonchalant. Feels safe in the fact that he's been up here all these years. He'd have put in work on all these dudes over the years. Don't think nobody's going to do nothing to him. He ain't thinking about Tyrell. Thinks he got at Tyrell. Thinks he played Tyrell. And thinks Tyrell's sweet. Thinks Tyrell's pussy. Well, one of the dudes that's walking with Tyrell's got a white shirt in his hand. And he's holding it. And more or less, it looks just like he's just holding a white shirt. He don't have a shirt on. You would think that that's just his shirt. And as they're walking, he unfolds it, pulls out a knife, passes the dude beside him. Dude stashes it in his pants. Okay. So he's going to stab Mac. No. They do a couple laps, let Mac stay in front of him the whole time, and as they go do like the third lap, I see him pass it to Tyrell. Now, Tyrell's got on these white New Balance sneakers, right? So he wants to make it seem like he's just jogging. Got on a pair of gray sweat shorts that one of the punks done sewed up for him because they didn't sell shorts at the time. And he's got a pocket on the inside of these shorts where this knife goes. If a lot of dudes that carry knives will tell you we'll sew pockets into the front of our pants, little areas just to hold things, right? So he puts the knife in there, takes his shirt off, throws it over his shoulder, and takes off running. Runs right by Mac. Mac don't pay him no attention. To anybody to the untrained eye, it looks like he's just running laps. Like he's just getting a little wreck in. His own boys continue to walk. He does 2 or 3 laps. Comes to a pace to where he's just slowly jogging now. He runs up beside Mac and hits Mac. And Mac pulls away from him, looks at him, and there's a bunch of dudes standing there. It ain't just Tyrell, and Tyrell keeps running, right? Like he's just doing laps. But the difference is he's got this fucking knife in his hand. And Mac is turned around. He's looking at everybody trying to figure out who just punched him or who just slapped him. Like, from what it sounded like a slap on the back. And he's looking around. He's looking at dudes like, you just fucking touch me? And he's got his focus on all these dudes that are to his right and to the dudes behind him. And before he could do anything, he turns around and Tyrell has turned around running laps and has started charging straight at him and just spears him. Hits his ass with the Goldberg. Falls him back on the ground and hits him in his chest a whole bunch of times. The whole time, Mac is trying to fight, trying to grab his arms. And this motherfucker's just hitting him. His homeboys and them, yo, chill. There's a perimeter vehicle coming around. Leaves the knife hanging out of Mac, gets up off, walks off. Leaves the shirt laying on the ground that he had there, and so goes back to running. But there used to be a fountain, like a water fountain right beside the building that used to work, and there's a urinal, because you're going to be outside for 2 hours if you go out there. Runs up to the water fountain, washes his hands, blood every fucking where. Meanwhile, Mac's still laying on the ground. The Richmond dudes can't do nothing about this. The Richmond dudes have already told Mac, if you rip dudes off from Richmond, we're not fucking getting involved with it. Somebody gonna end up killing your dumb ass. Now, it's not uncommon for dudes in the summertime to lay out. I know that shit sounds fruity booty, but it's not uncommon for dudes to take a towel outside or something and lay on the ground and catch some sun, right? Mac laid on the side of that track for a good 10, 15 minutes trying to get up. And every time he would get up, he would buckle and fall again. I seen him at least 3 different times, like try to get up and buckle and fall again. This man's got blood coming out of his mouth. I'm talking everywhere you look, it's just, the shirt has now just become red. Perimeter vehicle continues to pass. The guard tower, she ain't doing nothing. There's no AC in these guard towers. So she's up there and she's got a little fan blowing on her. A lot of days, the guards wouldn't even come out with the gun. They were just sitting there like, man, I got this dumbass job, stuck in this hot-ass tower all day, until eventually either the guard in the guard tower or the driver driving by in the perimeter vehicle that makes sure your ass don't escape realized the man had a red shirt on. We don't got red shirts in prison. They're white. They call the code. They come out on the yard, lay everybody down. After they get Mac up, they get everybody away, they're bringing us through the fence. And one by one, as we come through the fence and we go back into our building, they're checking our hands. They're checking our clothing. They're looking for any traces of blood, any traces of anything that might have to do with this. They're wanding us, they're metal detecting everybody. They're patting you down after they metal detect you, trying to see who else has got weapons out here and who stabbed this man up. Mac stood on 10 toes. He did not tell them that Tyrell stabbed him. We get into the building, it's immediate lockdown. We know they're coming in. We know they're going to come searching for weapons. We know all that. So no sooner they say, lock it down, and they got everybody in the cell, you'll hear a ting or a ting, where somebody done thrown some little bullshit with shank out the door, or throwing that bitch underneath the door, ice pick underneath the door, get it out the cell. You know, sometimes it's better to get caught with it than without it. In this situation, you want to get caught without it, because your ass is going to the mountains. That's what we call it. You're going to the Supermax Red Onion in the mountains. For 5 years, you get caught with the knife. Short time later, administration comes in and bags all Mac's stuff up, takes all his property, and takes him up out of there. First thing they do when they get him over there, I guess in the midst of him, after he got stabbed all up being in the infirmary, he goes under investigation and goes in a hole. No sooner they got him to medical, they took his blood. There's dope all in his blood. So without him telling, or Tyrell or anybody else really telling what was going on, as far as I know, Mac never said anything. None of Mac's homeboys never said anything. But it ain't too hard to put 2 and 2 together. The man shows up over the infirmary, stabbed all the fuck up. His blood is infested with all types of drugs. He's usually seen to be by himself. This is most likely a drug debt. They would end up shipping him up off of there, and Tyrell would go right back to it. I will get into eventually another story of how Tyrell eventually met his day and got up off of there. But yeah, that was a story of Tyrell and Mac. And when I'm telling you, Mac had an easy 60, 70 pounds on Tyrell, it didn't mean nothing. When he speared him, when he turned around running track and came back and hit him, boom, hit him with that Goldberg and got on top of him and started hitting him, he was already on him. I don't even know if Mac knew at that point he'd been stabbed. I mean, I seen him touch where the blood was and was like looking at the blood, and he was like arguing, like trying to figure this shit out. And before he could figure anything out, he doubled back on him and was on his ass, man. Don't never underestimate nobody. Don't ever go in there thinking shit's sweet. Don't ever go in there thinking you tougher than somebody. I'd have seen the most quiet, most nice, most laid-back guys take people's lives. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed today's story just as much as I enjoyed telling it. We're back to our regular scheduled program, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, live on Saturdays. It's been a minute, but hey, I'm human and I need a break too. Somebody, man, you took too much, you messed my life up. Shut up. I'm back, man. So I'm gonna let these pictures roll real quick, and then we'll get up out of it. Big shout out to everybody, man. Anybody that approaches me in public, don't ever think I'm unapproachable. I love it. I love knowing that I've connected with people and that I've become known. I was always known for all the wrong things. So to have people approaching me and it's not in a violent manner or aggressive, and they're approaching me and they're happy to just meet me, it's an amazing feeling, man. Shout out to you guys. Well, that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed bringing it to y'all. And until next time, y'all know how we do. But anyways, these streets, these jails, these prisons, they're all just crazier worlds inside of this already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. Just trying to keep y'all entertained. And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute.